Morning, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, January 24th, 2022, and I'm here at the Pioneer Mail Picnic / Trailhead area here off of Sunrise Highway here in Cleveland National Forest, here in the Laguna Mountains of San Diego County. This is what the area looks like. We got some picnic tables here. Looks like a vault toilet or two over there. And some beautiful California black oaks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go across the highway. Sunrise National Scenic Byway is right up there. And my plan is to hike to a very random peak today. Plan is to hike peak 5764. And it's near the Garnet Mountain area, which is also near Garnet Peak, but Garnet Mountain's a little further north. So this mountain peak is kind of across the highway from Garnet Mountain. I've done Garnet Mountain, and I've done a peak just to the south of it called Peak, well, it's not even a named peak, it's Peak 5680 plus. And I was pointing out Peak 5764 on that hike I did. So I'm going to try my hands at Peak 5764. What I need to do is get across the highway and find the trail. So again, this is the Pioneer Mail Trailhead / picnic area. So what I need to do is get across this safely. Let's see, I can hear some traffic coming. My peak's going to be up there. Peak 5764. That's Peak 5680. That's the last one I did when I was here in Laguna. As you can see here, this is a little block gate, so there's no parking over here. So, I believe this hike round trip is a little under 2 miles. And it entails about 500 feet of climbing. I'm about 5,200 feet and change right now. So, do is when you see this gate on the opposite side of Sunrise right here, and that's where I parked down there, you're going to find the Pine Mtn Trail right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this partway around the south flank of Peak 5764, and then I am going to find an old firebreak that heads directly up the south slope, where most of my elevation gain will take place. I've researched this a few times, and this seemed like the best way to get up there. And since this is on more of a south-facing slope, snow and ice should not be too much of a factor. So, I'm guessing this road right here leads into private property. So I'm gonna not go that way, and I'm gonna start heading up this way. I'll see you up the trail and see what kind of cool things I find today. Well, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a mask, it's starting to feel like I'm starting to come down with a head cold. So, on the off chance I come across anybody, I want to make sure I don't spread my germs. Or if somebody else is sick, I don't get really sick. So, I'm doubting I'm going to come across too many people, if any at all. Just on the off chance. I'm dealing with a lot of people who've been coming down with head colds at work lately, so I'm just, I guess it was my turn to deal with that. I don't feel horrible, but I definitely feel a little more tired than usual, and have a rawness the upper part of the back of my mouth, right by the throat. So, and I'm stuffy. So, but I'm normally stuffy because I do have slight indoor allergies. So I can't say 100%, but like I said, on the off chance somebody's here and I do have a head cold, I don't want to give my germs to anybody else. But like I said, most of this hike, I should be up on my own probably 80% of this hike. So I'm going along. The trail's quite muddy. It's not surprising considering the fact that it did rain and snow here a week ago. So I'm not really surprised about that. Surprised that quite a bit of the snow that fell is still here in spots. But there are a lot of shady chaparral bushes in the area, so that's probably why it's persisted quite a bit. But once I get up on this firebreak, it's going to be more of a south-facing slope. So I'm not really going to probably have too much of any snow issues, except for maybe a few patches here and there underneath the shrubs. Bushwhacking wise, I'm assuming there's going to be some. I'm assuming, especially when I'm climbing up the firebreak, especially in the upper portions, I think there might be some form of bushwhacking. The chaparral here is a little thicker than it is on the other nearby peaks like Garnet Mountain and Peak 5680. Peak 5680 is that right there. That's the south slope of it right there. And Garnet Mountain, not to be confused with Garnet Peak over there. I know I always have to say that because there are a couple of garnets in the area. There's a Garnet Peak, the main one, the popular one. Garnet Mountain, which is a peakbagger.com or peakbagger user summit that gets some visitation. And there's Garnet Benchmark, which is north of Garnet Mountain, which is kind of a small mound on Garnet Mountain's low ridge. So I'm gonna start keeping my eyes out on the right side here for what looks like a fire break. I've seen the images on Google Earth, so should be able to find it. This is the Pine Mtn Trail. There's a Pine Mountain in the Laguna Mountains. I haven't done enough research on that one yet, but I'm assuming this trail either leads to it or to a use trail or whatever to get up there. So let's do my research on that one just to see. So yeah. Yeah, some views out towards Whale Peak. Very, very impressive. All right. Well, I'm going to keep on the trail, and I'll keep you posted when I find my ascent route. I believe I found my ascent route. So I just came from this way, and I found what looks like an opening here. I'm going to start following this up and see if this is what I was looking for. I believe this might be it. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. It looked like it started out as a pretty decent fire break from the imagery I saw on Google Earth. This chaparral is definitely a lot denser than and taller than the stuff by Garnet Mountain. So let's see. This might not even be it yet. Might be a little premature. So it looks like this is gonna be a bushwhack today. It's not extremely tall, chaparral shrubs, but definitely they're taller than they are hiking up to Garnet Mountain. Those will definitely pose a little bit more of a challenge, and it's going to be free for all. If I don't see a feasible way, I might go back down and take a look again. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a feasible route here. I think what I'm going to do is go over here. Here's an opening. Let's see. It's a little more open over here. Let's see. I'm going to follow this up. Yeah, I think this might be it. I think this is it. Right now I'm heading northwest. So I knew the peak would be on the south-facing slope. I mean, the route would be going up the south-facing slope. Yeah, okay. So far, not too bad. I think towards the upper portions of this, it's probably going to get gnarly. I think it starts getting dense higher up in this. So as I'm feeling a little under the weather, progress is going to be a little slow today. Hasn't helped it. Haven't been on a good hike in a few weeks. So far, so good though. There's a trail. That's the trail I was taking there. Quite interesting. I think that's part of the trail I was taking. You see Monument Peak. And then I can see Stevenson Peak. Yeah, I can see all towards, not this one here, but the one next to it, Los Pinos Mountain and Long Valley Peak. Los Pinos Mountain's a really cool peak. I did that in conjunction with Corte Madera a month ago. What an awesome experience. It was one of the most beautiful hikes I've ever taken. So, this looks like an actual firebreak trail. So maybe what I did, maybe I entered it a little too early, because this is definitely a decent firebreak here. So I wonder if one of these is Pine Mountain. I don't know. I still have a learning curve for this area. The more I find out, the more I'll be getting into. So yeah, that's a trail. It gently goes up the side of that forested hill there. Again, I'm wondering if that's Pine Mountain. Well, let's see what I find further up. I'm definitely breathing more heavily today. It's not because of the mask. It's just I'm not feeling at 100%. So I'm not doing anything extreme today. But I'll see up the hill, see what other landmarks I can find and other scenes. Well, a little further up, I'm kind of at the end of the easy portion of the firebreak. Oh, I didn't even notice this, just till now. There's a rock duck here. Interesting. All right, so now it looks like the bushwhacking is about to begin. All right, I can see my destination up there. Not a super far distance to go. So this is a very short, this peak, very short climb. Depending on the way the ridge looks, almost tempted to maybe connect it to there, but maybe go up to that forested mountain over there. We'll see. Let's make our way up this first. Well, it looks like it opened up a little bit here. For the most part, once you get up to the top of the really discernible path and see that little rock duck, you'll have a clear visual of your destination. So I think once you cross that, it's just looking for the least resistance to get up there. Yeah, I don't think this peak's even on Peak Bagger. I don't think it is. I think it's just on the topo maps if I remember correctly. Let's see. Chaparral's a little thinner here, so I think waiting up here will probably be the name of the game. I mean, there is a little bit of passageway. I actually see footsteps here too. So, you know, I'm not the only adventurous one here at Mount Laguna. But like I said, in a lot of my other videos, I kind of enjoy scratch that. Really enjoy visiting the random unnamed peaks. It's a pretty easy route finding actually so far. Pretty nice chunk of the way up there. So just by following this old fire break, which kind of feels like following a trail because there's a discernible path in the brush. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm just wondering if I can connect the dots along that part of the ridge there. If I could do that, I might even be able to go over there, visit that, and then maybe drop down to the Pine Mtn Trail and just hike the trail the rest of the way back. Well, there's Garnet Peak, looking nice and rugged from here. The other side of it's even more rugged looking. Alright, onward and upward. I'll see you up the way. So as I'm climbing up this, I've never seen white sage this high up. The closest I've seen this high is in Angeles National Forest along the San Gabriel Peak Trail above LA. This is white sage, Salvia apiana. A small population of it up here. When I saw it on the San Gabriel Peak Trail, I think it was actually pretty close to this elevation. Well above 5,000 feet. Must be at least 5,600 feet now. I think I'm closing in unless this is a false summit. So it's kind of interesting. See white sage this high up. Must be a little more cold tolerant than I thought. There's a lot of chamise up here, but that's not surprising. Here at Mount Laguna, I've seen chamise all the way up above 6,200 feet, so that's not a surprise anymore. It used to be shocked when I used to see it above 6,000 feet, but I'm used to it. I won't be hitting 6K today. None of my plans. Again, the top of this is 5,764. But yeah, it was going to be tougher to follow once I got up above the most discernible portion of the fuel break, but not so. Well, I have a feeling that this is going to be a false summit. Why I say that is I'm still below peak 5,680, so I might not even be at 5,600 yet. Might still have a couple hundred more feet to go. So I'm getting the impression this is going to be a false summit. If it is, oh well, no big deal. I've seen that before. It's not like this is a marathon. It's a little rocky over here. Let's see. Small class 2 section right here. Not too bad though, pretty easy. Stop for a minute. I am still a little tired. But yeah. Okay. We'll see shortly up ahead. We'll see what's up with this mountain here. Alright, so let's see. Near the top of this mound here. Let's see. See if there's any more. Yeah, there's a little more terrain up ahead there. It's been a pretty mellow hike. I see what looks like a pole on the top over there. So, wondering if that's the summit. Well, if I had here, guarantees, I ain't the first one to ever come up here. That's for sure. Let's see. Definitely higher than 5680 right now. It must be closing in pretty close. Yeah, there's a pole up here. Pretty neat. Okay, well, here we are. Closing in on peak 5764. First Laguna Mountain summit of 2023. Hopefully the first of many summit climbs I do this year. Pretty cool. This is it. There's actually a register can up here. Wow. I'm not going to sign it, as I'm not going to put my cold germs on the register in case somebody else comes up here and signs it. Or whatever I have going on, but here I am, top of this beautiful peak. Like I said, I'm considering trying to see if I can go to that plateau over there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I could follow the ridge and then aim for that Jeffrey pine forest over there. See what's going on over there. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, this is it. Beautiful peak 5764 here at Mount Laguna. Alright, so now it's time for the views. And I apologize if the wind is very loud. It's not really windy, it's breezy up here. But you know, I don't really have good equipment for that kind of stuff, so. Okay, we're gonna look west. I can see all the way to Coles Mountain Mission Trails. I can see that very clearly right now. I think I can even see maybe San Clemente or Santa Catalina Island, one of those. Okay, now we're looking over towards Viejas Mountain over there at 4,187 feet. I can see Oxanita Peak, the one in the background, but not the far background, because that's San Miguel Mountain over there. So I can see Oxanita Peak, San Miguel Mountain, Lions Peak. I think that's Otay over there. I can see Corte Madera, Los Pinos, Long Valley Peak. And I can see some of the Laguna Mountains. I can see a wooded hill, Cuyapaki Mountain, Stevenson Peak, Monument Peak, some random peak I visited when I did Garnet Peak years ago. Garnet Peak. Here we got Peak 5680, Whale Peak, Garnet Mountain, Garnet Benchmark as we swing to the northeast, San Jacinto Mountain, San Jacinto over there, that's Rabbit Peak, San Jacinto divided in the San Gregorio Wilderness, Vulcan Mountains, North Peak, Middle Peak, Stonewall Peak, and of course, Cherry Flat, Cuyamaca Peak, and Hapashot Peak right there. One hike I wanted to do was try to climb up to do Middle Peak and Cuyamaca Peak, but also try to see if I could find the summit of Cherry Flat, which is that northern shoulder of Cuyamaca. It's called Cherry Flat. I wanted to see if I can find the high point of that one day. But I don't know. And then again, we're swinging it back around towards Mission Trails, Viejas Mountain, and our beautiful Laguna mountains here. So I'm gonna, take a few pictures, and then I'm gonna get ready to decide whether I'm gonna try to traverse the ridge, see if I can do that without too much insanity. Maybe try to aim towards that and eventually drop down to the Pine Mtn Trail. So we'll see. I'll see you down there. Okay, so I left the summit behind just over there, beyond these shrubs here. So I am gonna kind of scout this out and see if I can make something out of this. I don't know yet, but I do see what looks like possibly a passageway through the shrubs there. I don't know for sure. I'm just going to go down this a little bit and find out. If not, if I don't feel up to it, I'll just book it back over the summit and go the way I came and maybe find another quick peak adventure here. But let's see here. Trying to see if it's going to be worth trying to make a cross-country jaunt out of this. I don't know. Just trying to think here whether I should even bother. Wait a minute. I'm not going to be too quick to dismiss it. There's something over there. Maybe I can go over that. Perhaps. Doing this will definitely require some route finding. I thought I saw something going over that way. Let's see. Definitely off the fire break right now from what it looks like. So that means this is completely cross country. Just trying to see if there's a way I can connect to that over there without having to scramble a million rocks. There might be. So yeah, I can officially say now, from one of the previous clips, this is definitely the highest I've ever seen white sage. We're at over 5,700 feet. That little pole right there is the 5,764 summit. So we're well above 5,700 feet. So that will qualify as the highest I've yet to see white sage as of now. That's getting pretty close to 6,000 feet. Okay. So it looks like this is going to be a little bit of an exercise in waiting. So far it's doable. I'm just going to have to be careful. Watch where I step so I don't misstep. So let's see. Not quite ready to go back to the car yet. All right. Yeah, now we're getting into a full-blown wade and chaparral here. So this is not going to be as easy as coming up here was from the other side. Not that it's extremely difficult. We'll have a little rock scrambling over here, though. Ooh. Looks like I might have a small class 3 move to get down this boulder. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I could bypass it. Trying to see if I can avoid having to scramble a lot of rocks on this journey. Okay. I'm almost at the dip here. Not that far above the dip. Not as rocky over here, thank God. Alright. I'm going to go to that dip and see if it's worth trying to ascend the ridge. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the video for a little bit while I scout this area out. So I got my full attention focused on this. So far, it's doable with a little persistence. We'll see. Hey. So I'm near the dip, and the chaparral's getting really thick again. I guess probably because the soil profile's deeper here. These chaparral shrubs are a little bit taller for quickly growing. Looks like it's going to turn into a full-on bushwhack really soon. It's starting to look... so I've gone down to this point here, and that's all, now it's becoming a total bushwhack, an absolute bushwhack. I just don't know if this is going to be feasible. I got to about this point here, and I'm looking at the chaparral here, and it's a complete jungle of chaparral shrubs. Definitely not like it was up there a little bit. So I'm thinking this might not be happening over here. I'm going to start going back the way I came a little bit. And this is the west slope of peak 5764. So I made it down a little ways. I can see my footprints here in the snow. It's just the way I'm coming doesn't seem to have a good let up in the chaparral. Since we're down here in this little dip, chaparral gets really thick. So I've been coming along this way here, thinking about filing this under the not gonna happen today category. You guys, the chaparral shrubs are getting over my head. Let me see. Let me just wander around here. I know my landmarks, so I'm not worried about getting lost. I know the peak is here. I do have my mind visualizing a pretty small area. And anyways, worst came to worst, it looked like there was some room in that gully. I could head down to the trail there and follow it the rest of the way back to the car. Or up that way too, maybe, if I decide to be stubborn and still try to get up to the mountain over there. I'm coming up to here, and it's looking like the same thing, same issue. It's looking like it's going to start getting really thick and dense over here, and I really don't see a feasible way of getting from here just over to the beginning of that slope, because it looks like it thins out considerably once you get to the base of that small hill right there. Just want to see if I can see what I can do. Well, that's not going to work there either. Yeah, chaparral is just a little too thick for my liking over there. I mean, I love thick chaparral because it's beautiful, but I don't like trying to hike through it. I like hiking alongside of it when I'm on the trail, but trying to hike through it is a different story. Okay, well, let's see. Wondering if I can aim for that gully down there. If I can aim for that, I can still see my footsteps over here. So I came down this way. But it seems like it thickens up every time I get down a little ways. It seems to thicken up quite a bit. I don't know. If we're just thin enough to get to that spot right there, I know I'd be able to get up over that. Should be able to get up over that. That chaparral is about the size of some of these shrubs here, and a lot of these are fairly spaced apart where I could see a way to get through. Like I said, when I came down from 5764, I was saying this is going to be an attempt. Alright, here's a lighter pathway here. Saying this is going to be an attempt. This is no guarantee of me reaching that area. But I found an area of lighter chaparral for now. If I can aim down towards that, maybe I could follow a gully or something. So if you're going to try to do what I'm doing, it's going to require some good focus and some good route finding skills. Paying attention to your landmarks so you don't get turned around and lost. So soil's getting loose over here. And I know there's a trail not that far away from here if I decide to quit while I'm ahead. I do see some thickening of the chaparral up ahead, so this might not be exactly what I was aiming for. But see you down the way. Well, I managed to go around this mountain mahogany chaparral here. I kind of bushwhacked my way through that a little bit. Had a little actual bushwhacking, not just wading, but actual true bushwhacking. So now I'm right near the notch. So when I go back to my car, I don't plan on trying to go back this way. I'm going to try to drop down towards that trail, the Pine Mtn Trail. Now, well, I think I've gotten around it successfully. Now we're in an opening here with buckwheat. That was a pretty tough little traverse there. These were the wall. This was the wall of shrubs that basically preempted me getting as far as I have now by going around a bit. Now, I've got to look around here to see if there's a way I can get up there. So that's my next challenge. Because I see a lot of taller chaparral over here as well. Okay, now it's going to get pretty gnarly again. Thankfully, this isn't steep terrain. This is pretty mellow terrain. It's just a lot of shrubs to thrash through. So if I can find my way to the foot of the ridge, if I can get to that saddle, should be good to go. Let's see. This is, like I said, this is what you're going to be encountering en route. So far doable. It's just a real bushwhack this time. This chaparral were mature. This would probably be, you'd have to have loppers to cut your way through this, which I would not do. I'm not going to make my own trails by cutting through chaparral like that. Alright. Luckily, the branches of mountain mahogany have more yield. Alright. Now I'm down here. There's a gully that could be a potential escape route if I just get tired of whacking through this stuff. Okay. Tell you one thing, made more of an adventure than I planned. Okay, here we are again. Next wall in. All right, I'm gonna take some time to try to redirect myself a little bit. Well, I'm going to call this a not gonna happen adventure. But since I got myself in the middle of this, I gotta get myself out of it. So, I'm gonna try to see if I can use that gully as an exit strategy. I'm just trying to aim for that gully, see if I can get over there. If I can, that'd be great. Kind of slippery over here with the snow. I think I see the trail. I think I see a trail down there. Part of the Pine Mtn Trail. I guess what I'm going to do is just start aiming towards it. pretty tough. Worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna have to climb back over the peak. Now, this is a real bushwhack here. Let me tell you, this is a pretty gnarly one too. That's pretty rough. But then again, being that that's a gully, vegetation might be more dense in there. Might be denser in there actually. So. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to end up climbing over the peak again. This has turned out to be an exercise in futility. Oh boy. Starting to get a little more physically taxing too. You see I stepped through here. Oh boy. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty rough. Woo! This stuff is pretty serious. Not gonna lie. Oh well. Gonna keep working my way down and see how far I can get. Still trying to wiggle my way down this. That's pretty gnarly. So far I'm getting through most of it, but it is extremely thick. If you ever decide to do a chaparral bushwhack, or if you have to out of necessity of something coming up during your adventure, if you're going to be hiking in chaparral country, never, ever, ever wear shorts. I don't. This is insane. I'm not really stressing out or anything, but it is quite a gnarly experience here in the chaparral, trying to get through all this craziness. What's this down here? Big open spot down there. Let's see. Let's see what we got. I'm grateful for it, that's for sure. Ooh-wee. Surprised I haven't scratched myself up more than I have. Okay. So now I'm heading down to that gulch over there. So basically, came down from there, went down about that way, kind of curved around up on this, got close to that notch between peak 5764 and the ridge here. I was going to try ascending, maybe get over to that forested mountain over there. And now, we've come down through some very gnarly bushwhacking. Now, I'm aiming for this little gulch here and see if I can use that to follow out towards the trail. Because the trail should be somewhere over there. Because I know it goes around. I think it goes around that foot of the ridge there, I think. So if I can just navigate my way over there, that'll definitely help me get back on trail more quickly. You'd have to be a real mountain man to be able to get through all that to get to the ridge. But instead of climbing over the peak again, figured I'd try a more adventurous way to get back near the trail. So now I'm heading down this gully. There's a small meadow down here. Let's see what I can find down here at the bottom. Let's see. Probably a lot of game trails and stuff down here, it looks like. Oh yeah. Much easier. Doesn't mean it's going to stay easy, but see if I can find that trail. It goes up Pine Mtn Trail. If I can find that, I'm good as gold. It looks like I think I have a ways to go to get towards that area. So we're down here in these thickets. It looks like there's that western chokecherry. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is western chokecherry. Prunus virginiana demissa. You do get decent spots of that here in the Laguna Mountains. Oh. Gotta try to follow as much of the open space as I can. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more bushwhacking ahead when I get into the gully more deeply. I'll just have to take it as it comes, I guess. So I think the trail is gonna be near the mouth of the gully. So I think it's gonna be right over here. All right. So let's see how this goes. All right, I'm gonna keep on trudging along. Yeah, definitely. I think this could be bitter cherry, but I could see the old fruit stalks. This is definitely western chokecherry. It's all dormant because it's winter time. Pretty neat to see up here. But I'm gonna keep on hiking along, and I'll see you on the next clip. So I've come a little way down the gully. Been just following this down. Used to be some huge black oaks down here. You can see all the fallen snags. A lot of them resprouted, of course, and send up new shoots from the root bases. So now my aim is to try to get my way out of this gully here and just keep following it till I find the Pine Mtn Trail. So far so good. Now that we're getting lower in elevation, keep my eye out for upper elevation poison oak that could be present in the area. So I'm gonna have to go around a few logs maybe? Maybe not too bad though. Beautiful down here though, I'll tell you. Do I regret what I've done? No. Like I said, don't worry about getting lost. Just trying to get up to there would have been pretty insane. Of course, I wouldn't have returned the same way. I would have just gone down and met the trail, or at least try to. Yeah, some of these oaks down here used to be quite large, these California black oaks. So let's see. Let's see how long the going will be relatively good in this gully. Like I said, if I keep following this gully, I'll intersect the trail. But I didn't really feel like having to reclimb over Peak 5764 after having thrashed through chaparral for about 45 minutes. Just wasn't really too much in the mood for having to do that bushwhacking uphill like that. So far, pretty good down here. Of course, the gully will narrow the further down we go, which means it'll get brushy. When the gully's narrow, usually it gets a lot brushier. If you watch some of my older videos, when I used to hike up in Angeles National Forest, the San Gabriel Mountains, I used to climb up gullies a lot. I used to bushwhack and climb over logs, scramble over rocks. It used to be quite an ordeal. But a very interesting and worthy ordeal, because I like being able to challenge myself, and I can consider this kind of a challenge in a way. So far, so good. But like I said, when the gully narrows, usually, a lot of times it narrows more towards the top of it. This one seems to narrow more as you're going down it. One thing that doesn't help today is me being stuffy and not feeling 100%. Also got a little sinus headache kicking in. It's not severe or anything. It's not even that bad. It's just kind of annoying. But yeah, this is pretty cool. See, this is the kind of cool stuff you see when you get off trail. You know what I mean? Speaking of trails, just about to hit Pine Mtn Trail again. Here's the trail. See? It's always good to look at maps and look at stuff, look at terrain, and see what's where in case you have to or desire to make an adventure out of it. Figure out where the trails are in relation to your cross-country adventure. Just be aware. And I knew following this gully was going to lead me back to the trail, because I've seen the direction this gully goes. It goes south, from south to north, roughly south to north, and it leads me out here. This would be the way to get back. I'm still kind of curious about this side over here, so I'm going to keep climbing up this way, see how far I get before I get too tired and turn around. We'll see. I'll see you along the way. Okay, well, I've been at this for a while now, a little while. Probably about a little bit after 1 o'clock right now. Coming to a trail junction right here. So we're still on the Pine Mtn Trail, just like I figured. Now I got a road over here. I think I'm gonna bear right here. So I'm gonna go up this road a little bit. See what's going on up here. I think we're gonna enter the forest. Be nice. Kind of nice to be in the forest for a little bit. Get a few forest shots for the day. Been in the chaparral pretty much the entire time. Maybe, hopefully, maybe I can find a place with a log where I can sit down for a few minutes. Very muddy. Pine Mtn Trail is very muddy today. Whatever this is. Just want to head into these Jeffrey pines for a little bit. Like I said, maybe I'll find a shady spot to sit down. It's not really hot or anything, but it'd be kind of nice to get out of the sun for a little bit. Beautiful over here. Not going to go much further today, that's for sure. The fact that I'm not feeling 100% today, kind of making everything a little tougher than usual. Especially all the energy to get through that bushwhack. Wondering if I go up this way after my short break, what if it'll lead me to the top of one of these hills? Okay. Beautiful little stand of Jeffrey pine here. Nice looking trees. Yeah, it's time to go find me a place to sit for a few minutes. Get off my feet for a little bit. All right. But I'll see you wherever I'm going next. Alright, so been following this road for a little bit. Finally found a snow-free stump to sit on. Get some liquid in me. Ooh, is it muddy today? So this road keeps leading up here. So I'm just going to follow it until I feel like turning around. Probably won't be too much later, but maybe I can get to the top of one of these hills here. Trying to see if that's peak 5764. That's either peak 5764 or it's that ridge that was next to it I was trying to get to. I think it might be part of the ridge I was trying to ascend after 5764. So, let's keep following this up, and it looks like there might be a high point over there somewhere. So, maybe I'll make that if that is, maybe I'll make that a second hill climb of the day. Sure nice to be in the forest again. All right, well, I'll see you a little bit more up the way, see where I am in relation to everything else. All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the ridge, actually. Peak might be behind it. All right, I'll see you up the way. Okay, well, I think I'm getting close to one of the higher points over here. I think it's going to be over this way. I'm going to leave the road in a minute. It's hard to tell. This is one of those rolling plateaus. There's a little bit of uphill over here. There's a bit of uphill over here. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to break trail and head left. I think there's a little bit more uphill to the left. I'm going to go see what's going on over here. So, leaving this road here. I don't even know the name of this road. Never been on it before. So let's see. So I do see some uphill over here on this side, but the uphill on this side looks like it might be a little bit more. So let's see. Might be a little more substantial over here. Yeah, I think the uphill, hard to tell. There's a knoll over there. I might end up going to both, just for the heck of it. So I'm gonna head for this one first, then I'll go head for that one. Hill over here. Let's see what happens when I get over here. Like I said, when I'm done, I'll make a short stop over on the other side too. I'll see you when I'm at the top. All right, so we're at the top of this knoll here. Let's see if there's any sign of anything up here. Actually, the top of it's over here. Considering how tired I am today, feels like a little mini mission to get over here from the road. Let's see if there's anything on top of this hill. There's a peak. I don't know the name of it, if any. I think I can almost see the summit right around here. Let's see. Here's the top of this one. Whatever this is. On top of this one here. Pretty cool. It's be like my second. Can't even talk today. At my second little high point of the day. I don't see any markers or cairns or anything up here, so I'm assuming this is unnamed. Just walk around a short distance and see if I see any signs of anything. Yeah, it's pretty much all downhill from here on this side. So I'm at the top of this one. Yeah. I'm guessing this isn't Pine Mountain, but I don't even know what this is. If this even has a name. Oh no, here's a summit register. Huh, okay. Maybe this is Pine Mountain. All right, maybe I'll take a look. I'll go take a look at it. This could be Pine Mountain, maybe. Well, 360-degree views are going to really not be possible. But this is what the summit looks like. Pretty cool. Yeah, I had to take my mask off. I haven't seen anybody the entire time I've been up here, so if I do start coming across people, I'll put it back on. I'm not going to worry about it until then. All right. Well, let me go take a look at this real quickly and see what's up. Well, my intuition was kind of right. This is Pine Mountain. The summit register. I was right. I was completely right about that. This is Pine Mountain. Very interesting. Pretty cool. Pardon me for a minute. You can look out at the trees while I clean up here a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to get my germy hands all over everything, so I put some gloves on so I don't spread my cold to other people who might come up here. Oh yeah. So we'll call this a 2-summit day, buddy. So this is Pine Mountain. I don't know the exact elevation of it, but I'll find out. Usually they put the elevation on the summit register. But yeah, Pine Mountain. So this is it. Very aptly named. I wonder why. Jeffrey Pines. All right. So, peak 5764 in Pine Mountain. In fact, Pine Mountain, I think, is a little bit lower, I think. I think it's like 5,600 feet, something like that. But I'm going to start heading back. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is following this back to the road. Start heading north, back to the road. So this is it, Pine Mountain. Second summit of the day. So I ended up making it up here anyways. Turning right on that dirt road was the right decision to make. Otherwise I would have followed the dirt road going the other way around this. And if I wanted to come up, I probably would have been a bushwhack. So all I needed to do is just waltz my way back to the road. Just follow that back down to the trail. So I don't know if this is one of those hikes where you had to go do lots of cross country to get to, but if you follow the Pine Mountain Trail, turn right on that dirt road, follow it uphill until it hits roughly a high point, turn left. Once you get to the high point of the dirt road, before it starts going down a little bit, turn left. Just aim for this knoll on your left again. This knoll on your left will be it. You just go up to the highest point of this. Yeah, just leave the road at its high point, and just follow this hill. Without snow there could be a use trail, I don't know. Just found my footsteps, so I'll just follow those back to the road. Easy, simple. So yeah, goodbye Pine Mountain. Nice visiting your summit today. So yeah, made it up to Pine Mountain. I've heard of this one before. Seen it in Peak Bagger and Peakery. But I never knew exactly where it was, but then when I came out to that trailhead and said it was the Pine Mtn Trail, I figured Pine Mountain would be in the vicinity. And alas, it was. So I'm just going to keep following my footprints back to the road. And then this time, when I get back to the intersection, I'm going to turn left on the Pine Mtn Trail and follow it back to the car. Won't be shooting as much video on the way back because I want to make a good pace getting back there. Let's see what time it is. It's already 1:45. So I want to make some good time to get back. So I think this trail is going to be some ups and downs on the way back. So knowing how I'm a little impaired for my, I don't know, sinuses or allergies or if I'm getting a head cold or whatever it is, I'm getting a little tired now. But yeah, pretty cool. I'll see you down the way for more updates. All right. So here we are, back on the Pine Mtn Trail. I take this hard left here. So I'm going to hike that back to the car, or back to the highway, then up and over to the car. Alright, so let's go ahead and make that left. Back to the car. There's a sign. So yeah, I didn't realize the road was going to lead up to almost the summit. I don't know if I had the impression for some reason that Pine Mountain would have been more of a cross-country hike. But, I mean, if you're just doing that peak and nothing else, pretty much the only cross-country is just leaving the road near its summit and then just walking uphill gently for a little bit, just looking for the highest point on that hill. And you just look around a little bit by the oaks and you'll find the summit register. Now I'm going to be back on this trail the rest of the way. It's nowhere cross country. The way I did it was very, very much different. I went up and over peak 5764, then tried to amble along the ridge next to peak 5764, which was unsuccessful. So I ended up bushwhacking to get to a gully, and then just followed that gully and found the Pine Mtn Trail as I predicted I would. And instead of just going back to the car, decided to try to up the ante a little bit and still see if I can get to that mountain over there, which at that time I was suspecting might be Pine Mountain. I think I might have mentioned that, but I wasn't sure since I'd never really studied the information on making a route to get to Pine Mountain. Didn't do my research on it, but turns out I was in the neighborhood. So after I knocked on the neighbor's door at 5764, all right, figured I'd try to knock on another neighbor's door, which ended up being Pine Mountain. So I got a random peak and a named peak. That was pretty cool. I was not thinking I was going to get a named peak today. Wasn't planning on it. I was just planning on originally doing 5764, getting going up, then going down the way I came. Follow the way back to the car on the Pine Mtn Trail, and then drive up to near Lucky 5 Ranches, hit up a random peak over there called Random Peak, Peak 5444. Peak 5444 was that peak. So I was gonna drive up to a short hike, get back and drive up to another short hike. But when I saw how close that higher terrain there, and knowing that this was the Pine Mtn Trail, thinking to myself, that could possibly be Pine Mountain. It might be. So I figured, go over there and give it a try and see if I can get over there. And though my original route failed, my backup plan originally was just to go down the gully and then probably just turn left and head back, but then I just decided to turn right and keep heading out and seeing if that would be it. A way to get up, at least get up to that, even if it were a random summit. But it ended up being Pine Mountain, so this day's worked out pretty well. And the snow's not too bad in spots. You're not going to post holes, so you ain't going to worry about that. It's pretty, might be a few slick spots here and there. So there is some refrozen ice So just be aware of that. But other than that, the snow will be good to help clean the mud off of your shoes when you walk through the mud in the bare spots. So, yeah. Apparently, apparently that must have been the ridge. I don't know. That might have been the ridge that I tried to traverse. It's from a different angle, so it's kind of hard to tell. I thought the ridge would have been more this way. Maybe when I go around this nook here, I'll get a better idea. That actually looks like 5764. Yeah, that's peak 5764 right there. That's the first peak I climbed today. And I can see where those pine trees are. That's the gully I came out. So I'm almost back to that already. So the ridge is over here somewhere. The ridge I was going to attempt to follow. So that's the peak, the first peak I hit today. Getting up there wasn't that bad either. A little bit of wading. Nothing too bad though. But definitely worth it today. Even though I wasn't feeling the best today because of my sinuses right now. Congestion, I got a little bit of a headache. I'm so glad I did it. Really glad I made a hike today. Because if this, whatever's going on with me gets worse, that might impact at least part of my vacation. I got 5 days coming up starting Sunday the 29th, and I go back to work on Friday the whatever, the 3rd or whatever it is, the 2nd or 3rd, I don't even know. I don't even care. So I'll see you down the way for some final updates. Well, just came around. Here's the gully I came down from that gnarly bushwhack up on the near that saddle and the ridge. So now I am on the part of the trail I didn't touch earlier. So I got to go around southwestern base of peak 5764. And that should be getting me pretty close to where I parked. Distance-wise, unless this is a really extremely long curve or one of those long hairpin type turns, shouldn't have that long of a distance to get back to the car. This is definitely worth it to get out here. This is a great hike. Awesome day in a great mountain range. Depending on how I feel during my vacation, I'd like to see if I can hit my old Santa Ana mountain stomping grounds. Maybe get in something over there. Should be kind of neat. So this trail is supposed to go all the way to Champagne Pass. From the road, highway, I should say, it's about 2 miles and change. Pretty sure I didn't go that far. That's for sure. Maybe I'll find where I was supposed to enter the fire break. I think I entered it a little too prematurely, but I was able to find my way to it. Maybe this was it here, I don't know. Looks like a possibility. I know I entered it further back, I think. And it wasn't this steep getting up from the trail to the fire break. It was actually pretty mellow. I don't know if it was there. I don't even remember. I don't think I'm that far from it. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my memory card filling up. My second one. This camera does not do good with memory. And I'm putting in 32 gigabyte memory cards. So I was saying, I don't know if I think I left it. I think I went up it somewhere near here, or started up it. Yeah, that area back there looked like it was a possibility. But I didn't really angle that far before I found it. I don't see my footsteps, so I think maybe that wasn't it. Yeah, 3 memory cards today. Unreal. It's just unreal. Well, I think I might have gone up near here. It's one of these I think I started going up. But yeah, it looked like it was gonna just turn into just more wading, but then I guess I angled a certain way. I angled kind of this way a little bit, and then I found a very followable fire break. Yeah, I think I left the trail before here because I don't see my footprints. Definitely wasn't on this trail for a very long time, that's for sure. I don't remember there being this much white sage when I left the trail either. There's a lot of white sage over here. Let's see. I don't think it's that much further. Yeah, my hike's almost done, actually. I'm almost back to the trailhead. Here we go. I think, yeah, this is where I went up right here. Pretty sure this is it right here. Basically went up that way. So I was on this trail for a very short time. So, all in all, I would say if I didn't do that cross-country bit down the west slope of Peak 5764, this would have been a pretty easy hike, actually. A pretty easy hike. Even if I'd done both peaks at the same time, it might have been easy going into the slightly moderate category, if that. But I'm going to call this moderate for my experience, for what I did, having gone up to 5764, then dipping down and literally bushwhacking my way through, trying to see if I can get up to the ridge to get to eventually what I would confirm was Pine Mountain, and then bailing out, wiggling my way down to that gully. That definitely leveled it up quite a bit. So I'm definitely calling it a moderate hike. Not extremely strenuous, but it does have that one challenging spot if you're gonna be doing this something similar to what I did to add to the adventure of it. But the 2 peaks by themselves, I would say fairly easy. mean, this trail is not that steep. The dirt road is not steep. The only steep part is getting up to 5764, and even that's not extremely steep either, going up the firebreak. So, I mean, no problem there. So, got to do is just follow this, and then go back up to that intersection right there, cross the highway, and dip down to Pioneer Mail. And you can see that sky right there. That was the old bypass, or the old curvature of Sunrise Highway long ago, before the rock slides on the mountainside above, which is Peak 5680, which is a hike I did back in November. Basically made that unusable, so they rerouted it. Instead of being on the east side of 5680, it's now routed more of a straight route on the west side of Peak 5680, where there's less where there are less bouldery outcrops getting in the way. So yeah, gotta admit, this was pretty neat. There's another random hill over there that, provided it's not private property, do some research on that. That could be a worthy climb for another day. All right, you can see Sunrise Highway going up to the pass between Peak 5680 and 5764. A little mountain pass right there. All right, wind my way around, and I'll see you for one last final update before I conclude this video. Well, that's where I came from. Just left the Pine Mtn Trail. So I'm back at this little intersection. I just got to cross the road. Get across the street. So, worthy of a hike? Well, certainly. You can see where Pine Mtn is up there. I would totally rate this as a very worthy hike. Let's go across the highway carefully, of course. You see where I'm parked, just down there. There, Pioneer Mail Trailhead. This is where it all began for me today. Maybe one of these days I'll do a short climb up to that one. There's Peak 5680. There was my first peak of the day, 5764. Back down to this cool little picnic area / trailhead. I was going to consider trying to find a spotlight video, but I think I'm just too tired for. After all, my sinuses are very annoying right now, and they're making me very tired. But regardless, very much a worthy day, very much a worthy double peak hike. Like we got a western scrub jay. A couple of them actually in that little black oak thicket. Looks like you can have a picnic here too. It's pretty cool. Not me. I head home. Honestly, I don't even have much of an appetite today. So I think I'm going to do a shortcut through here. I do have restrooms here if you need to use them. Looks like 2 of them. Beautiful black oak. Of course, beautiful Jeffrey pines. Let's go end our day. Look at this beautiful Quercus callagii in this winter dormancy phase. I like the way they look in winter too. Get to really see the intricate branching structures. Wow, beautiful tree. This one's definitely put in some time. The trunk here is pretty respectable. Of course, it's a multiple trunk tree, so must be an enormous lignotuber or root burl in there. Beautiful tree, I'll tell you. So, if you want to do this hike without the crazy bushwhacking that I did, my suggestion is hike to the base of 5764, look for that little opening, start hiking up it until you meet the firebreak. Follow the firebreak to the top of 5764, return down that firebreak back to the Pine Mtn Trail, follow the Pine Mtn Trail, and then find that dirt road, turn right on the dirt road, and then follow it up till it crests, then bank a left off trail to get to the top of the hill on the left side, which will be the summit of Pine Mountain. I could have done that, but I decided to scout the backside of Peak 5764, see if I can go along that ridge, which didn't work. So I ended up having to go cross country down to a gully. So the effort was a lot more than if I had just done that, which I wasn't even planning on going there originally. So, but I did it. Made it back from another adventure here in the Cleveland National Forest, Mount Laguna. Thanks for watching my video, and hope to see you on the next adventure, hopefully soon, provided I feel better on my days off.